Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Bean. I'm a landscape photographer based out of Colorado. And on this channel, I take you behind the scenes through some of my photos, along with the trips and some post-processing. Today, we are taking on a trip. This is a completely spontaneous road trip up to Wyoming. Maybe South Dakota, we'll see. But it is tonight is a massive Aurora watch for the northern part of the United States. This is probably the strongest reading of the Aurora that we've had since 2005 or 2003, 2005, somewhere around there. So it's been about 20 years since we've seen, readings like this. The Aurora is really unpredictable, so we may see something, we may not, but I'm going to either Devil's Tower in Wyoming or Badlands National Park in South Dakota. Not 100% sure. I know a few friends are going to Badlands, so I might call an audible and head that way, but right now we've got our sights on Devil's Tower. It is a 6.5 hour drive at least. We've had some traffic here, so could be longer. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, I will update you guys when I get there, and yeah, I'll kind of go through maybe what I'm thinking, and hopefully tonight we can see the Northern Lights. And this is the first time I've ever seen the Northern Lights, so I'm pretty freaking pumped. This will be something special no matter what happens. So at the very least, we'll get some Milky Way. At the most, we'll get Milky Way and Northern Lights. And yeah, hopefully we got some clear skies and good conditions. So anyway, stay tuned. So you probably can't see me right now, but I'm starting to see like these faint glows in the sky, and like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like these faint greens, kind of looks like a little bit of fog or something like that. But yeah, so I pulled off on the side of the road. I'm about 30 minutes away from Devil's Tower, and I pulled off on the side of the road just to see what it was, and see if I was right, and see if that was the Northern Lights, or the Aurora. And sure enough, we see it. We see it. Totally worth the trip, man. I don't think I'm sleeping tonight. I am so pumped. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I see the fucking Northern Lights. I don't think you guys can see this, but like, it's all around. It is literally, look at this. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you can't get better right now. Can't really see it, but man, it's ridiculous. It's just everywhere. Y'all, so I made it down to Devil's Tower, and look at this freaking sky. This is absolutely insane. You can actually kind of see it dancing over here. Oh my God. This is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I'm just taking shot after shot right now. Ready? 5 seconds.
𝐓𝐡𝐞 ISO 800. That's what we got. Amazing. This is incredible. I mean, like, you could see like the purples and the greens and everything, like clear as day. I'm like a kid in a candy shop right now. This is crazy. I love this.
Future me driving home, and I wanted to real quick kind of touch on, you know, how I shot some of these images last night. So for the most part, I did not know how to shoot Aurora going into this. I did not look up any tips or tutorials or anything like that. My plan was to go into it like I was shooting the Milky Way or shooting stars. So basically how I start is put my shutter speed at about 13 seconds if I'm shooting, like, you know, let's say 24 mil. We'll put it at 13 seconds. We'll start the lowest aperture I can go, so wide open. If I'm shooting my 24 to 70, that's a 2.8. That is the ideal. You don't normally want to go above that, but I do have a 16 to 35 f4, and because that's an f4 and it's a little bit wider, I did use that quite a bit. So once I set those two settings, I then go ahead and change the ISO to whatever makes sense. You know, obviously you want to keep it as low as possible to, you know, remove the grain, but I think I shot most of mine at, like, let's say 800 to 3200. So, you know, don't be afraid to push it. You can always, you know, take, let's say, 8 photos and stack them together and do the noise reduction in post, right? So that's what I would recommend. And then I was also shooting time lapses. So I had my remote shutter just going, you know, 1 second intervals, and I just let that go for as long as I wanted. Sometimes it was, you know, for 20 frames. Other times I had 300 frames. Obviously with the Aurora, there's a lot of motion happening. So in order to capture that, you need to let it run for a longer time. And sometimes that's, you know, leaving your camera run for 10, 20, 30 minutes at a time, just for a 5 to 10 second clip, right? So that's what I did last night. I found it super successful. I played a little bit around with, you know, different shutter speeds from 13 seconds. Most of my shots were probably at 5 seconds because I noticed that the light was changing, the Aurora was changing so frequently that I wanted to capture that changing of the Aurora frame to frame. So that's why I went down to 5. Yeah, so, you know, play around. Don't just keep your settings, you know, don't do one and done, and have fun with it. That's what I did, and I am stoked on these images and the time-lapse videos. So, yeah, enjoy those. So good morning, y'all. Oh gosh, I I decided I needed to take a little nap, so I pulled into a Walmart parking lot about 5 a.m. and it is about 7:30 now, so I'm like 2.5 hours of terrible sleep. I'm 5 hours away from home, but my goodness, was last night so freaking cool. Like, it was going in and out of strength. The Aurora was, and there were these blues and greens everywhere. They were just, dancing for hours. I probably stopped shooting around 3:30. I started shooting at around let's call it 10 when I first pulled over. So that's what, like 5.5 hours of straight awesomeness. I probably will put the image up before this, but yeah, I took a bunch of time-lapse photos, took a bunch of different angles, and yeah, it was so cool, such a good experience. 2024 is such a crazy year. Saw the eclipse, saw the the Aurora for the first time. I guess Northern Lights is another name for it, but and in about a month I'm getting married, so yeah, just absolutely crazy year for me. Well, anyway, I appreciate you watching, and let me know which photos you liked, which time lapse you liked, and if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.